I'm Richard Thompson. I'm Professor of Marine Biology at the University of Plymouth. I've been working on the accumulation of plastics in the environment for over 20 years, the accumulation in different habitats and the effects on wildlife. But while it's clear that plastic has negative consequences, it's also clear that it brings many societal benefits. Plastics are lightweight, versatile, inexpensive and durable materials that bring many benefits. For example, lightweight parts in cars and aeroplanes that can help to reduce carbon emissions, reduce fuel usage. But the durability of plastics, coupled with their inexpensive nature, can also create conflicts. We produce over 300 million tonnes of plastic every year. And yet, because of their inexpensive nature, 40% of everything we produce is single-use items of packaging, where the life in service is really short, but the persistence as waste is very long-lived. The problem is that social conditioning has taught us that when we finish with a single-use item, it's absolutely okay to discard it, to throw it away in an instant and not to worry about what's going to happen next. Plastics are regarded as having no value at the end of their lifetime, and that's part of the problem. We need to rethink the design stage to make sure there's inherent value there that can be realised at the end of a product's lifetime. As humans, there's an inherent desire to consume, and that's part of the challenge. And it's particularly important that we consider that with some products that I would argue are actually unnecessary use of plastics in the first place, an unnecessary escape to the environment. Think of the microbeads used in cosmetic products, some single products containing millions and millions of small plastic particles that were inevitably going to escape to the natural environment. The user couldn't take them to be recycled. But in many cases, plastics is actually the best material for the job. Think of bringing you a glass of lemonade. A bottle made of PET is probably the best way to do it. Its lightweight material has a lower footprint in terms of transport than other materials, and yet PET is also a highly recyclable material that could potentially go round again and again in a circular economy. The challenge is that we are again hitting problems at the design stage because many plastic bottles in the supermarket are designed with colourings incorporated into them, and the presence of those colourings renders the end-of-life bottle much less valuable in recycling. It makes it more challenging to turn it to a profit for the recycler. So a lack of thought at the design stage has compromised end-of-life. There's an overarching environmental issue here that we're currently using 4% of fossil oil and gas production to make plastic products in the first place. We could decouple ourselves from that use of fossil oil and gas and at the same time reduce our single use of plastics and reduce the amount of waste we produce if we break the current habit and move towards a circular rather than a linear economy. The design stage is absolutely critical in that. We need to design for recycling, but we also need to design products for reuse where appropriate. Think of a trip to the supermarket. We all need to make sure that we take a reusable bag with us and use it over and over again to reduce our reliance on single-use disposable carrier bags. Much greater levels of sustainability are achievable if we all work together around the circular economy. Of course, we all need to do our bit and make sure that we recycle plastic items at the end of their lifetime. But that's only going to work if industry also works together and makes sure that they're designing plastics in the first place that are as compatible as possible with end-of-life recyclability. It's our future and it's our planet. If we all work together, it's possible to get benefits from plastics that can reduce our environmental footprint on the planet, rather than seeing the current levels of avoidable and unnecessary waste and the current harm that we see from litter. All of that can change if we start to use less plastics, and where plastics are the best material for the job, we use them in a more circular manner, using less fossil oil and gas, generating less waste for a more sustainable future.